If you've ever used a hypnosis tape and you felt like it did not really work for you, hold on, my friend. There are 5 really good reasons as to why the hypnosis tape did not work for you, especially all the little ones here on YouTube. Stay to the end of this video because by the end of this video, you will be clear on how you can actually begin to leverage this tool and get them to actually work for you. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so number 1 is just merely for the fact that they are made wrong. And now I'm sure that might have gone through your head if you're like, maybe I just am not able to be hypnotized, or maybe the hypnosis tape just doesn't work. And you're most likely right on that. Like a lot of the tapes, because I've gone through YouTube and I've looked and I've Googled a lot of hypnosis tapes out there and stuff like that, just for when I was making mine. I can kind of see what other people like. But at the same time, it's a hypnosis tape. So there are fundamentals that you have to follow. And some of the ones out here are basically just violating basic laws of hypnosis, things that you want to include. And it's not as simple as just getting down to a meditative state and then giving someone suggestions. That can be effective to some degree, but we're talking about a hypnosis tape, man. Like, these are a powerful leverage tool. And so if you did not reap the benefits from a hypnosis tape, you feel like you didn't really see much of a result from it, it's because most likely it was one of the reasons as to why is because it was made wrong. The second reason is it could be made right, but it's not made right for you, right? Because everybody is a little different and everybody is slightly different as far as their suggestibility type. So I could say something to you and you can either take that very literally or you can infer it, right? And then there's all different types of degrees in between that. And so even though there are tapes that are made correctly, they may be correctly, made for a certain type of suggestibility, and not everybody can be hypnotized with the same, or they're hypnotized the same fundamentally, but they don't take in the suggestions fundamentally. Like, that definitely varies from person to person. So number 1 and 2, they kind of go hand in hand, but ones that they're not made right, just fundamentally. And then number 2 is they may be made right, but they're not made right for you, for your specific suggestibility type. Number 3 is that they have this like weird music to it. Now, in order to get down to hypnotic state, we have to be operating in theta brainwave frequency. And I've made a ton of videos on how music itself programs you and keeps you in a particular state of being, because since it is a stimulus, when you link to it and you put your attention on it, you link to the frequency of it. And if the frequency is not of something that is like a binaural beat that's in a lower frequency, such as like theta related, then you're gonna have a hard time shutting down that critical mind, because your mind is like taking in that external stimuli and it's linking to that frequency, and you're putting your attention on it because it's the hypnosis tape, and you're wondering, oh, why doesn't work? Why can't I even feel like down and relaxed? And it's because they have some weird music to it, and that kind of goes back to them not being made right. But I was more so talking about like the wording as to not being made right. But then this is like the cherry on top to not being made right, is they don't even have a theta frequency tone to the hypnosis tape, which is vital, right? You don't want to be operating from the critical mind when you're trying to give yourself suggestions, because it's like pushing a boulder up a mountain. So that is number 3, is that they do not have theta frequency binaural beats. They have some weird strong music to it. Number 4 is that you put your guard up for whatever reason. You may be new to hypnosis, you may be afraid of the fact that you may get stuck in hypnosis, which you can't. I made a whole video on 5 common myths about hypnosis that I will link above and below. But there's all these fears around hypnosis if you aren't properly fully educated on it. And so if you're always like a little shy about whatever that is, or you don't trust the person who made it 100%, you're gonna have your guard up a little bit, and therefore you're still operating from that critical mind. And if you are operating more so from the critical mind, you are not in theta brain frequency, so therefore you are not in a hypnotic state. This is super important. That's why if you don't feel comfortable in listening to that tape, don't waste your time. Like, you're not going to get the full benefits from it. You're more suggestible to your own self in that case, right? And so you can just practice your own affirmations and meditative type state and do it for yourself if you're having trouble listening to someone else's tape. Now, if you want a personalized tape, one thing that I do is I'm a hypnotherapist, and so we can have a session putting one specifically towards you so that you know it's specially made for you, and I can answer any questions that might alleviate some fears you have around hypnosis, so that you can really reap the benefits from it. But that is a big one. If you have your guard up in any type of way, you're not going to get the benefit from it, and so you want to listen to a tape that you feel like you can trust and just let your guard down with. So that is number 4. Number 5 is there's no understanding of the root. Now, what's amazing about hypnosis and hypnotherapy is that you actually do not need to know the exact reason as to why someone has a problem, but at the same time it helps to know, because something that someone could be doing in their hypnosis tape could actually be triggering you, and if it's triggering you, you're not in a relaxed meditative type state, therefore you're not in a hypnotic state, therefore you're not susceptible to the suggestions going on. So it's very important that yes, you can get benefit from a hypnosis tape that was not catered towards you, or anything like that, but the best way to get the maximized benefit is to have a hypnotic tape made specifically for you, because if you have any sort of triggers that are going on in that tape, or they're not using, going back to like your suggestibility type, or they're even just saying things that maybe you have like a phobia of, or that you just are uncomfortable with, or just all different types of things, and it also isn't adding additional benefit towards linking additional pleasures towards your specific desires, right? Because there's the reprogramming, but then you also don't want to just eliminate something from your life. You want to replace it. Otherwise, your subconscious will try to draw in something else, and you want to be in control of that. You want to give it the suggestion. So another thing is they don't understand the roots. They can't avoid like any sort of like the root of you, and so they can't avoid any sort of like trigger or anything you might dislike that would snap you out of that hypnotic state. And then they also can't give you any like ultra specialized positive suggestions as to replacing that behavior, replacing that habit, or whatever the case may be as to why you're using that hypnotic tape, right? Because our brain is always trying to avoid pain and gain pleasure, and we are creatures of habit, so we can't just take a habit away, we have to give it something as well. So these are 5 different ways and reasons as to why a hypnosis tape is not working for you, and you'll merely just do the complete opposite of what these 5 things are to get the benefit from it. And like I said, you can reach out to me down below. There's my contact info, social media website alone, etc., for you to find out your suggestibility type so that you can either make your own sleep hypnosis, or I can make one catered specifically to you so you get the maximized benefit of the hypnotic tape. Anyways, if you guys have any questions at all about hypnosis, or other questions as to why hypnosis tapes work, or how to just maximize the benefit of them, definitely comment them down below. Hypnosis is a phenomenal tool that I wish I leveraged back when I started learning about all this stuff many years ago. And so yeah, I just wish to pass that on to you guys so that you get quicker results, and you live a fulfilling life more faster than later. You get what I'm saying. Anyways, I love you guys so much. As always, dream big, live large, and be live. Bye.